Oh, I think it's all of the above, but I don't think this can be overstated. I think this is the biggest story going on in the NBA right now, is what is happening with James Harden. Let's just show you the numbers for the season. It's not that, he's no longer an MVP candidate through 5 games. He's been one of the worst players in the league, flatly. That's just an objective reading of how he's played through 5 games. How odd is this for James Harden to the rules about not getting to the line? Show the next one if we could, please. Some context here. 5 straight games with less than 5 free throw attempts. Last time that happened to him was a decade ago. By the way, he's had 3 straight games with under 20 points. The last time that happened to him was the NBA Finals, which were his final 3 games with the Thunder. The free throws, though, he has 15 on the season. Little context there. His final 2 years, full years in Houston, he played 146 games. 40 of those, he had 15 or more free throw attempts in a single game. 1 in 4 games. Quarter of the time, he's getting in line 15 or more times a game. He's got in line 15 times all year. So why is that? And this is where we say, run the footage. And I would ask the audience when you're watching this, is James Harden trying to score the basketball on any of these plays? The answer is no. Right there, he's just throwing up a shot to get 2 free throws. Nope. How about this one? We can show the next one. We can show them quickly because it's all the same type of thing. Here, he tries to hook Jimmy Butler's arm. Jimmy Butler has arm it. Oh, I'm going to hook you. Nope, I'm going to turn the ball over. Show the next one. This one here, he just throws the ball out of bounds because he thinks he's going to get a call. And he does that little double swim move thing with his arms. And this last one is the worst one. The last one that I want to show you because it's the 4th quarter. It's a big possession. He has Bam Adebayo beat. But it is so ingrained in him to, instead of try to score, try to get the call, he stops the play and tries to get the whistle. Broussard, he's turning the ball over. He's not hitting shots. He's not getting calls. And if someone came to me, Broussard, and was like, Nick, you're going to keep doing this show, but you're not allowed to be arrogant or condescending on the air when talking about your favorite teams anymore, I'd be like, well, it's all I've ever done. It's going to take me some time, guys. I don't know if I can do it. And so I think my concern level has been higher than yours on Harden. Yours has to be raising because this is looking awful right now.
Well, first of all, you couldn't do it. All right, let's just get that out of the way.
I know.
But secondly,
you're looking like Harden.
This tape, Nick, is hard to watch. This is hard to watch. And let me say this. If you're right, okay, and James Harden is all of a sudden just a pretty good player, and I got to take issue with you saying he's been one of the worst players in the league. He's average in the numbers, the shooting percentage from 3, from 2, it's bad. I get it. A lot of turnovers too. About 4.5 a game. But he's averaging 16, 8, and 7, Nick. So I'm just saying, not one of the worst players in the league. That's the only beef I have with you. But if you're right that he's all of a sudden gone from being a superstar, arguable top 25 player of all time to just maybe an all-star. I mean, this is a historic collapse. I can't think of a collapse like this that wasn't due to injury or just a guy getting old, neither of which really applies to Harden. Now, he's talking a lot about the hamstring injury, and I've researched it, and he was talking about that in training camp some. And he said, I'm still in rehab, things like that. It was his first serious injury. He came back in the playoffs from it, injures himself again. So I get the struggle he's going through, and I'm going to attribute it mostly to that, Nick. There is some muscle memory going on. You just showed it. That was muscle memory. All of those plays where I've been doing this for 7 years, 8 years, and this is what I'm used to doing. He's obviously got to get over that. He didn't grow up playing basketball that way. He didn't play that way in college. He didn't play that way at Oklahoma City. He didn't play that way when he first got to Houston. So he can change, but he's got to do it in his mind. And then secondly, he's got to get over this mental hurdle of the injury. Because, Nick, the fact that he's shooting 33% from three-point line, that's his worst of his career, that does lead me to believe it's the legs, right? The legs aren't there, okay? And so I do think there's legitimacy to the injury, but he's still got to be aggressive. He is not aggressive. Averaging 15 shots a game, that's his lowest since he left Oklahoma City. And remember, when you take 11 free throw shots a game, that means you're really taking more than your recorded attempts. You can add what?
That's right.
7 onto that. So the fact that he's only taking 15 shots with 3 foul shot attempts, Wiles, that tells me he is not being aggressive. And I picked Brooklyn to win it all, as you guys know. There is no way. If James Harden is not a superstar, not a star, he can't be a star, he can't be an all-star, he has got to be a superstar, one of the greatest players we've ever seen, for them to have a chance to win the championship.
Well, the other issue, Broussard, is him going to the line is a confidence booster, too. If his shot's not going down, he gets to the line, and that stops the bleeding. And that's the interesting thing about Harden. He's just like you are if you're at home playing basketball. You see the ball go through the hoop, you're like, I'm starting to feel a little bit better. We've seen that with James Harden throughout his entire career. Nick, I want to ask you a question about when you think Harden will be able to get over this. Because like Broussard said, there seems to be a lot of muscle memory. What I think is extra interesting here is that Steve Nash is his coach, and Kyrie is still his teammate. Those are two of the best guys in the history of the NBA in driving to the basket and avoiding contact. Steve Nash made a career out of that little in-the-lane floater, and Kyrie's layup package is exact opposite of Harden's. Kyrie is trying to contort his body and put enough spin on the ball where he's focused on getting buckets. Where Harden is not trying to draw contact, he's trying to initiate contact. It's literally the exact opposite. So what makes this more concerning to me is that he hasn't sat down, or maybe he has, but we haven't seen it on the tape. Like, hey, Steve Nash, what do you think I should do? Hey, Kyrie, you're still on the team, right, officially. Hey, have you seen this tape that Nick Wright showed? What do you suggest I do? And if he's this true basketball genius that we've been saying he is for the last decade, then I expect him to grow out of it, but we haven't seen it yet.
Well, I should have maybe said this. I can actually report the second part of that. The Kyrie call did happen, but Kyrie just said, what does tape mean to you, James? Did that happen today or did that happen in your mind? And then James just hung up the phone. He's like, all right, Kyrie, good talking to you, Kai. Appreciate it. See you on IG Live. So I want to be clear. Harden will be better than he's been these 5 games. But Broussard, you said something really interesting there, which was this is not how James Harden has always played basketball. But it is how he's always played basketball since he's an MVP candidate. Before all this nonsense, he was a really good player. He was not great. Before the free throws and the 13 three-point attempts a game, he was a really, really good player. A sixth man of the year who could be more. It was Daryl. If you guys remember when Daryl traded for him a decade ago, there was real talk about, okay, Daryl probably won the trade, but he can't be the best player on a good team. And it was through the essential mathematical equation of we're going to shoot 1 billion threes and get to the line more than anyone ever, and we're going to break the math of the game. So Harden has never been an all-time great without this part of his game. And I want to reiterate this point. Him figuring out how to manipulate the rules is not a knock on him. It is a testament to his basketball IQ and to his commitment to trying to find ways to win when he's not the most athletic guy in the league. He's not the strongest guy in the league. He doesn't jump the highest. He doesn't have the prettiest shot. And yet, he scored 36 a game. I just don't think he can do it anymore. I don't think that under these rules, if they're going to call it this way all year, he's going to be a guy that regularly has these massive explosions point-wise. And I'll add one other point, Broussard. You said he's shooting 33% from 3. Part of that's the hamstring. Maybe also part of that is, in years past, one missed three-point attempt a game, didn't go down as a three-point attempt at all because he drew some jabroni foul on it. And he got 3 free throws out of it. And this year, that's just a miss, James. Sorry, that's just a miss. And so, this is all bad right now. And I do think that we shouldn't be surprised that when they made a rule that folks were calling the James Harden rule, that it's going to affect James Harden a lot. That they're like, oh, the rule that they implemented because of you and Trae Young, it's going to have a significant impact on you. I think that's what we're seeing.
Here's the thing, Nick. In the videos you showed, though, every one of them, he could have simply tried to score. He could have, the one where he went like this and threw the ball out of bounds. Make a decision that I'm going to shoot the basketball. That's what he's got. I mean, I get it. He's been playing this way for years. But it cannot be that big of an adjustment. I'll give him a little time, but he can adjust. Now, they don't need him to be Houston James Harden, not scoring-wise. They need him to give him about 25, 26 points a game. I think he can do that. He is an elite-level playmaker, and he's lost his swagger. To hear a guy, and I get it, your hamstring's injured, I'm hoping, Nick, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt when he talks about confidence, that he's talking about his legs and his hamstring and his health. But it is baffling. It is startling to see a guy who is so good talk about not having confidence. All right, so he's got to get himself back together mentally, because I know KD won't say it and that's his friend, but KD's got to be like, what in the world is going on?
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.